A very warm welcome to everyone joining us today here. Today, I'm absolutely delighted and thrilled to welcome you to the first ever episode of BookFlix Live, where authors become your mentors. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is not just another talk show, but it is that platform to get guidance and mentorship to succeed in life by design, not by chance. Because this is that platform where you get to learn the real secrets for success. Whether you are a job career professional or entrepreneur or you are in any other profession for that matter. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is that platform where you get to learn the real life success formulas or real life success strategies from those successful authors. And you get to learn behind the book secrets, the untold stories behind every single chapter of the book. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, you get to learn the practical steps to design the path to your success by design, not by chance. My dear friends, to make this very first episode of BookFlix Live truly unforgettable, we have with us today an extraordinary guest, someone who embodies inspiration in his every sense, a thought leader whose journey speaks of resilience, purpose, and impact, a voice that has touched millions of hearts and transformed many lives through powerful ideas and actions of him. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a huge round of applause and warm welcome to our first guest, Mr. Suripto Chaudhary. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Suripto Chaudhary, a visionary corporate leader with over 30 years of global corporate experience, former MD and CEO of Airtel Africa, and former CEO of Sahas E-Village Limited, an award-winning strategist whose journey across multiple countries is filled with invaluable lessons and powerful insights, ladies and gentlemen. He is also the proud author of the Amazon best-selling book, Life Without If.
In life, everything not always happens exactly what the way you want, but there is always a trigger comes and make that happen. What is important is to pick up the trigger. When I was 52, I could really come back to execute my plan. And at 52, I said, yes, here it is. They all said, are you mad? After 50, that 10 years is the most earning part of anybody's life. Yes, that's true. But at the same time, I think that was the way of God telling me, hey guys, you had a plan of, coming back and do something after 50. You are already 52. You have committed something. Have you forgotten, or are you deviating from your plan? I said, no, this is the time I need to be with my parents. This is the time I have to go back to what I have designed as my plan for my life. And I said, enough. I actually spoke to my boss, Mr. Mittal, and I decided that I will come out and I will do what I planned much earlier. Whatever I have experienced, I think this is the time I have to give back as my legacy to my community, to my society, and to the people who will gain out of it. I do mentor and tell them, the young kids, young entrepreneur, how to make a plan, how to make that plan get executed, and how to make a plan into a business, both internal stakeholder as well as external stakeholder. Second one, I decided, whatever I learned, how can I pass on the learning to many people? I do teach them design thinking. I do teach them how to startup ecosystem. I do teach them success by design, etc., etc. That was the second one, teaching. So hand-holding, mentoring, teaching, passing on the knowledge. And the third one was documenting my learning and handed over a document so that everybody don't have to discover and relearn. They can actually take that document and use my learning, and wherever applicable they can use in their life, and don't waste time of relearning or recreating the whole thing. And that's where my author journey starts up, and that's where I started writing, and this book came up, which is A Life Without If.
The next question which I would like to ask you basically is, what are the things that a reader can expect from your book? I think largely at the moment, if we can have an idea about it, that will be a great step at this moment. And then as we go along, episode after episode, we'll go deep dive into the book, sir.
When I actually thought of writing, then I asked myself what to write. I definitely wanted to write and how to write. And one of the key lesson what I picked up is life. If you actually spell the word life, Life, okay, then at the center sits I and F. There's an L and the E at the beginning, at the end, and then there is a center is the I and F. So if actually sits at the center of life, you can't even spell the word life without if. How can you write a book of life without if? So you also must have noticed that in the cover, the out is striked out. Life is never without if. Life is always with if. There are positive ifs and there are negative ifs. And that's my learning from my life. And they found the way to overcome the negative ifs and to positive ifs. And they created the history in humankind. They managed their negative ifs and balanced with their positive ifs. And that's where my book comes, A Life Without If. Life Without If is a document, is a book which enables you or the reader to live a life by design. A life by design and not by default. Minimizing the impact of the negative ifs and emphasizing the impact of the positive ifs, and thus living life by design and create a success by design, what you call. So that's where I think is the single takeaway.
To our viewers, I just wanted to take a moment here and just share with them that this is how we are trying to just set the foundation of this particular flow of this number of episodes that we are going to have, wherein we'll be covering this Sudipto sir's book called Life Without If. As I have shared, this is the kind of platform where we are inviting the experts, inviting the successful person. And when we have the author or the person himself sitting on the stage, we can go really, really deeper into it, and we'll be able to know the actual stories behind coming up with any of the topics or chapters that they are mentioning. If you have any questions or if you have any kind of doubts, you can ask your questions. You can send your queries or suggestions to the number given below on WhatsApp, and we will answer to the questions that you will be sharing or you will be sending. So coming back to the discussion, sir, what are the things basically on a broad manner that our viewers or a reader can expect from this particular book?
From indecisive fearfulness to identified potential, focused action, your life actually can be changed from by default living to a by design living. As per our research from our own life, as well as various successful individual in the history in India, abroad, we found out there are 9 positive ifs and there are 9 negative ifs. In the book, what we explain them as a enabler, 9 enablers and 9 dislodgers. Nobody is in the perfect left-hand side of fully positive waves. No, neither nobody is in the fully negative waves. You are at life is actually putting you into a seesaw. So anybody in some occasion in a particular incident can behave negatively. The same person can actually also start behaving positively based on if he is working from his strength, potential, and skills and competency, or if he is getting influenced more by the external factor. Wherever you are, say in a scale of 5, if you are at 4 or if you are at 1, okay, where 1 is the worst situation, 4 is the better, 5 is the best situation, how can you move from wherever you are to the next level? We are also giving the reader the step-by-step action plan to move from your disabler influence to enabler influence. Then we actually take them to a gym. Okay, till now it was actually telling them how to make a healthy life, good life, successful life. Now we are taking him to the gym or the field into real action. What is that you want to do in life? Because most of the people does not even know. They want to be successful, but they don't know what is success mean to them. What they want to do in life based on not only their wish, based on a complete validation of their skill and competency. Discover what you want, validate whether you have the relevant skill and competency or not. And if you have, then create your own plan, what we call life without if diamond blueprint. What I want to do, why I want to do, how I want to do, by when I want to. End of the reading of this book, everybody will actually get a complete blueprint of what is his life objective, why it is so, is it aligned with his skill and competency or not, and how we can achieve that, the plan of it, the diamond blueprint, and by when he can achieve that. So how do you manage those situations and of external influence, maybe sometime not positive, maybe sometime positive, and stay track is the core theory of the book.
First of all, you were talking about living our life or achieving success in our lives by design. And it is all about, if I have understood correctly, it is all about creating the design for the reader, for himself, with the help of the frameworks and the steps articulated in that particular book. And I would say this book is going to be very unique and very different. The way the entire thing has been charted out, I have seen many diagrams out there, which are really helpful for the reader to understand the thing. When they see in the pictorial form, it becomes simpler for them to understand the whole concept. We are going to request Sudipto sir, explain everything in detail. What is that actually he is trying to mean when he is talking about certain steps, and what are the important things we should be keeping in mind when we understand that, or when we actually implement that in our real life scenarios. So, sir, here I would like to understand from you directly, since it is a beginning show, the opening show. Maybe we would like to go little the wider perspectives of the particular book. While each of the books which are already bestseller or which are already successful are carrying certain uniqueness in those books, which are different from the remaining books or the concepts which are presented by other books. How your book is going to be different from the other books which are giving good concepts or big concepts to succeed in life?
We actually give them tool to assess themselves and document it. Not only an assessment tool, but we actually give them a complete diagram where they can actually go through, assess step by step, and get a result like an exam result. This is where you stand. end of it, you will get a 5-pager document, which you can use it for your whole life or the period of life. And as and when you can keep changing and move forward in your life. So this will actually give you before you build a house, you create a blueprint. Before you start reliving your life. After reading this book, you will have a blueprint for your whole life. And that's what remains with you. And this is so sharp and so small, short and crisp that you can always keep it in your pocket. So whenever required, pull it up, spread it, read it, keep it in your pocket. So that's what the uniqueness of this book.